Hi, in this tutorial I want to show how you can export a camera from Nuke to Unreal and back to Nuke again. So as you can see here, I have the scene. I made the camera and it's animated. This camera can be animated or it can be a match move, doesn't matter. Um, I set this to be HD, as you can see here, and you can see a camera movement going on. So the first thing is we need to export the camera. So we're going to use a right view and we're going to need a scene for the camera. Otherwise the right view doesn't work. So we're going to connect that there. And I'm just going to find a location here. Let's go downloads. I'm going to make a folder. It's going to be geocam. And there, I'm just gonna call it this one cam 01 and set the fee here. And this needs to be a FBX. Unreal accepts only FBX. Well, we accept other formats, but you need to turn some things on. So this is the best one. And we want this to be just a camera. Everything else is fine there. I'm using Nuke 11, but I have used all the other versions and it seems to be working the same way. So let's hope this one works as well. And I want just 50 frames here. And I'm going to say OK. And we have the camera export. You could go and re-import just to make sure that's working. So camera. Go read from file, read in here, click there, and we can read that. That's going to say OK. And this one should have animation, as you can see. So pretty good. And then we want also to export the geometry, because then we can compare and we have something to start working on. We have a scale, we have a size. So I always export geometry, especially from match move. If we have a LiDAR or if we have also a point cloud, this can be very useful to work in Unreal. So we're going to do this one in Geo. And remember to change that to geometry there. We're going to go and click execute. Actually, this one is just one frame. It's fine. So just going to execute there. So we have both of them exported on the same location. And now we can get Unreal open. So just get a new file here. That would be the best. I have 5.4. This is the new version. I haven't tried yet, so if something goes wrong, we're gonna figure it out. But I have this version, so let's open that. I just created this yesterday. It's Unreal 5.4.1, the new version. I'm gonna wait that to open. Should be very quick. Okay. We have them in here. Let's go and move this over there. That's fine. So we have our scene here. I normally make a new scene, so let's go make a new level. And we can use just an empty level. I think that would be best. And I'm just gonna go here, tools, no tools, environment line mixer. Just gonna create everything here. And I don't want to put my cloud here. So that's something very, very simple. And we can start bringing the stuff from Nuke. We're just gonna make a new folder here called Nuke. And let's make a new folder also called Shot 01, just in case, to be organized. And in here we can make a new folder even. It's not there here. And it's going to be cam. I like having them separate and actually camera we don't need because we're going to bring the sequencer, so just geo. So in here we are going to bring the geometry, download geocam, and I'm going to do geo. So geo is very simple, just drag in and import. You can even reset default if that's the case. Everything should be fine. Uniform scale is fine, so we're going to go import. We have now our geometry. We can go and save all. I'm going to save my level 2, and I'm going to save that inside of shot 1, and this is going to be map shot 01. And drag that in. I reset its location to 0 here. Okay, so that's the location. I like having this inside of a parent geometry or a parent actor, because then I can move this around in my environment. If I made already an environment, I want to move the camera and the geometry around. I find it's very easy. So we're gonna go and place an actor here, and that is going to be a cube. I normally use a cube, and we're gonna actually rename this F2, rename to parent, and we're gonna go to its detail and we're gonna remove the joint. So this is just an empty actor right now, and I can go and drag that in. So now if I want to move the scene and move the box, it's going to move well, and I want my parent to be at 0 as well. So everything here should be at 0, and then this should be at 0. So remember to put them all in 0, otherwise when you bring the camera, it's not going to look right. And then we're going to go and also make a camera. So let's go and do a camera. And I want the scene camera, so just write scene, you can get the camera. I'm going to drag the camera inside of the parent the same way, and we're going to reset the camera as well. Now you'll notice here that the camera, it's not going that direct. That's fine, we didn't import it. So let's go and import that in. So to import the camera, you need the sequence. So you go here, the main level, you can go and search, right click and sequence, and you can bring a level sequence. You could go and click in here and add the level sequence too. That will work as well. Let's do shot 01, version 01, and I'm gonna do sequence because the sequence, and we're going to double click that. It's going to bring in here and just drag that there. Let's go, yeah, sure, let's go and do here. My layout's a little bit different because I use a bigger screen, but this should be fine. So now that we have this here, we can go and bring our camera in, and let's make this a little bit bigger here. Oh, the new sequence seems quite different. That's fine. Yeah, that is totally fine. I might go and bring this down over here. You know what? Let's change my layout to the default just for now. So load, I'm going to load the classic one. And I'm going to drag this over here. Great. So we have this in here. So I have the content browser. Again, this is the sequence. Shift Alt, Shift Control, save there. S for save. And I want to bring the camera. So you have the camera. Click on and drag in. I have the camera. So we're going to right click, import, and we're going to go and get the same location. So download cube, camera, and geo, and we have the camera there. Now here's the important part. Match name, that's fine, don't need to worry. Force X, this one we want. Convert to units, yeah, sure, this is good too. Scale 1, that's great. We do not want to create a camera because we already have one. We want to replace this, yes, that's good. and we don't want to reduce the keyframes. Okay, this is very important. So the most important are these three here. I don't really put that one. I'm going to remove. So it's just these three, and we're going to click import. So now that we have that in, remember to change this to 24 frames, because we are in Nuke, we're doing that. And this is going to be 50. We can change the frame range here too if you want. So if you click here 50, that works the same way. I just drag that in, and we have something like this, right? But this is a bit different from what we have in Nuke. So sometimes what happens is the geometry need to be rotated 90 degrees. I think this 90 here, and I think it's minus 90. So now they are in the right direction there. And if I go and I look at this, now they're right. So for some reason, when they come in Unreal, they go this way. It's a little bit off, but now you can see they're facing correctly. So just get the geometry, just the ones you brought in from Animatch Move or from Nuke, and rotate them minus 90. Okay, so now we're good. Let's render this to see if it's working, right? For some reason, this doesn't seem like this is the right format, but that's fine. Let's go to here. We have the legacy right now, but we want to use the movie render queue. So we're gonna go to plugin. Let's go and bring the plugins here. I'm gonna search for movie render. We want the movie render queue here, and we need to restart. So let's save everything. And let's open the same map, same sequence. We can even lock the camera here to see how it looks. Great. So we're gonna go here now. This is the movie render queue. This is the one that we use the most. You can use the other one too. It's the same process, but this is the one people are using the most right now. So we're gonna go and change here. So this is HD already. Everything here seems fine. So we're going to just say accept, and let's render this. Compiling shaders, that's normal. My screen is a little bit up there, but it's just compiling. As you can see, almost 100. And yeah, it's rendered. I can click on the location where it was rendered. I'm going to go and bring that in. So this is what we have. And seems like it didn't come in correctly. Let's pause and see what happened. So this happens sometimes. Unreal can be annoying to bring the format in a different way. So I'll check what happened and then I'll be back. Okay, I figured out what was the problem. So the problem was the aspect ratio. If you go and search on Google, it's gonna show you what aspect ratio is. So in this case, the image that we're using is a HD, right? And HD is a widescreen, and that use 1.77.1. So that's the aspect ratio. And in Unreal, you need to also bring that manually sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but the crop size, it's annoying. Sometimes you can adjust it here, you can adjust like this if you want, but this you shouldn't much. But the crop size here, that is something that we want to adjust. So I adjust to 1.77 because HD and it's widescreen. And once I change to that and I render, okay, I also disable my focal, my defocus and focal length, so depth of field. But then once we have that, we can render, and it's just gonna render there. And when I go back to here, if I go and reload, when you go and compare them, you can see the objects are in the same place. So we have successfully rendered everything. As you can see, we're good now, and we can do our movies or whatever. Something that also can be very useful sometimes is maybe you have a camera in Unreal and you want to bring that to Nuke. Let's say you're doing a cinematic. So the way that you would export the camera is right click here and then export, and let's go and do, let's say camera Unreal in here. Unreal 01. I'm gonna click save. So the way we can export this one, I think it's 4 axis, if I'm not sure. There are some settings here, just a moment. Okay, to import the camera back to Unreal, or if you let's say you're doing a cinematic, you wanna if you bring the camera back to Nuke, let's say you're doing a cinematic, you don't even have a camera in Nuke, or maybe you want to just test to see what's going on. So to export from Unreal to Nuke, the way you do it's a little bit more complicated in the Nuke part, but what we can do is you go select the camera, you go export, and then you just go select the export here and click save. Okay. So once you click save, it's very important to follow the settings here, ASCII, and then force front axis, x-axis, right? So that's very important. Everything else here you can take a look. I didn't change much, I think, but just follow these lines, and you should be good. So just gonna click export, and that is in Nuke now. So if you go and make a camera, okay, we go get a camera there, go there, read from file, and we're gonna go to file, import, go up there, and we're gonna go camera from Unreal there, click OK. So now we have our camera in. We're gonna go and uncheck read from file. We're gonna make a copy of this, okay? Because the axes in Nuke and Unreal are quite different, so we need to do some stuff here. So this one here is going to be the copy, and this one will be camera with expression. Okay, so camera with expression. I'm going to go and delete this. So we're using this camera because of these settings. So we're going to go and delete this. No animation, no animation. And we're going to also remove the information here. So this is 0 and this is what we're keeping, okay? So over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go hold control. We're going to drag the expression over here. We're going to hold control and drag the expression over there. And that's what we get. We get this in here. And here's the important part. So now that you have the expression from the original camera to here, we're going to go to the expression and we're going to go and edit the expression. So this is the important part. So in here, we're going to do minus parent, camera, and then rotate. So we're going to do dot Y, because we're going to change things over here. And then in this one, it's going to be dot Z, and we're going to do plus 180. Sometimes this is 90, but this time here, I'm saying it's 180. You might need to test. And then this is going to be minus as well. It's going to be dot X, and we're going to do plus 90. Okay, I'm going to click OK. So now, as you can see, this here is in front. And if I compare the one that I had animated, okay, this is the one animated. You can see how it looks. If I change to the new one that we brought from Unreal, it's the same thing. And if I want to compare with my render, it's the same thing as well. So things are working very well. That's how I export the camera. Now, let's say you have some props or something that you want to test in Nuke and you want to export the geometry. The geometry, because we rotated things here, right? Remember we rotated this -9. We need to maybe change a little bit things here. So let's say I want to export this sphere, right? Let's look at where this sphere is. So the sphere is in there. We're gonna go here, asset actions, export. And then I've just made one here. Let's go and just do it again. So here, I'm gonna save. And this one, we want to uncheck the force axis, I think. So everything else is fine, as you can see there. Didn't change much, but we want to uncheck that. And then we're gonna go export. And if I go now here with Geo, we're gonna double click on that, click in here, and we are gonna go find where that sphere is. That sphere is over here. And if I go and I look at this sphere and the other sphere, they are in the same location. Beautiful. And I can even replace this if I want to. And as you can see, the new sphere there and the old sphere, right? So everything is good, and that's how you export from Nuke to Unreal camera and geometry, and then back from Unreal to Nuke camera and geometry. Have fun. Bye bye.